looks good. Hello everybody, welcome to Short Shot Archery and the live stream. I actually have the World Cup, I have the men up right now for recurve, but we're going to be checking that periodically to see how everybody's doing. I know, what was it, Marcus from Brazil was first, but then last time I checked, I think Tyler Worth from Australia was actually first. Brady and Jack were somewhere in the teens, and they were actually tied at one point. I don't know where they're at now. Oh, well, welcome to archery. Hopefully you're having a good time. It's really fun. I've been doing it for a really long time. So, yeah, I don't know, it's great. I get a lot of enjoyment out of it. Alrighty. Ah, see, look, yeah, I didn't think about that. Morning's a lot better for, because it depends on when I have time to stream. I've been streaming more in the mornings because it just works out better. But I forgot, yeah, UK and then Europe, that it's still a pretty good time. When I do like midday or later, it starts getting kind of late over there. Well, I'm glad you can join us. That's really awesome. I got a whole bunch of friends that live in the UK. Little long. Little quick. That's right. This is the first end, so we're kind of getting all warmed up and going. It was really everything was going really well shots wise yesterday, especially in my afternoon especially in the afternoon when I was shooting. The live stream went pretty well yesterday, like, you know, shots wise. Yeah, it was going pretty good. But by the end of the day yesterday, man, it was the shots I was shooting in them so well. It was great. I was really happy with it. A little rough this morning, but we'll smooth it out. There you go. That was a little better. Nice. Hey, that's a great job. Very, very good. Not exactly sure where Northampton is. I'll have to Google it. Is that more up towards like York? Or am I thinking in the wrong direction? I am not. I have a basic layout of like the UK with major cities, but definitely not some of the smaller ones. Like I have names, but I can't quite think of their location. So maybe I might be, am I too far? I don't think I'm too far south of York. So you have to forgive me. I'm gonna Google it now though, because I really do like geography and the locations of countries and cities and things like that. So that's always interests me. It was funny. Google actually had this. Well, they have this. They have a Project Phi trolley, and originally before they changed it, they used to give you a geography quiz, and if you won, you got a free item from their trolley, which is just this. It's just a vending machine, pretty much. So they had some really tough questions in there, and it would be like I don't know. I feel like some people in the U.S. aren't great with geography. I'm sure it's the same in other countries too. But they had some, fairly vague ones. Like you say Georgia, a lot of people think in the U.S. Oh, we have a state Georgia, but they forget that there's one in, I guess, is that? I guess you consider that the Middle East. Anyway, below Russia, above. Iraq and things, Armenia, that whole area. There was so many people, like questions like that where I guess your average American would probably not guess it. I actually managed to get them all correct. I was pretty excited. And then what do? Like a month later, they go and change how you can actually win these. I don't know if...
Now they discontinue them.
They discontinued them now. But they ended up changing and then discontinuing. And I was like, oh man, I was good at that. Got it the first try. Oh, 60 miles north. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was thinking the wrong direction. Okay, I know exactly. Well, not exactly where that is, but okay, that makes more sense. But now I know. I know for the future. Thank you for sharing. Oh, that was all my arrows. Hello, Wendy. Welcome back again. Let's take a quick look at what's going on at the World Cup. At least this time we'll check the men's division. Maybe we'll switch next time. But I finished shooting all my arrows, so I have to go and pick those up. But let's see where all the World Cup shooters are situated in Berlin. All right, let's see. All right, we're updating. All right, Taylor Worth is still sitting in first place. He's got a 336. let's see. We got Marcus from Brazil, and then Tang. Tang from Chinese Taipei. So those are our top 3 big names. Ooh, Im's in 4th place from Korea, and then we have a shooter from. I think that's a Turkish flag, and then Patrick Houston is sitting in. Patrick Houston's in 6th place, and then 2 more Koreans. Brady's working his way back up. He's in. Looks like he's in 12th. Brady's in 12th right now. So we'll come back and we'll check that out and see how the World Cup progresses as I'm practicing here. So hopefully everybody's enjoying this little, mix between me shooting and then checking out World Cup scores as they rank in, as they qualify today. So I'll be right back. Okay, back for ends number 2. That one was like a warm-up. It's kind of all over the place. Let's see if anybody has any questions. Kuban Chan. I would assume Kuban Chan is shooting a ton of arrows. He's got to be shooting a lot of arrows in Korea, because I'm sure he's not too thrilled that he's not on the national team again. Is this is 2 years in a row, right? I might be wrong. I believe it's 2 years in a row that he's not been on the team, or 2 times in a row now. At least once since the Olympic Games. So yeah, I would think he's working really hard, unless he's just looking to like retire and go into a coaching role, because it seems like a lot of the Korean archers, maybe less so recently, but just I guess the trend over time, they've they retire and then they go into teaching archery. Wow. The dog's hanging out on the live stream now. I'm not in charge of him, so if he does anything inappropriate, it's on the dog. man, not quite setting up correctly, shortening myself up a little bit on the end, so I got to work on that. Maybe because I'm a little tight today. I did a lot of shooting yesterday, and I've been working out, trying to improve my overall like archery strength, which has been really beneficial, by the way. But maybe it's from a little bit of that. We'll see. We'll work it out. Oh, ugh. All right. Let's see. Back to some basics here. We got our feet and stuff set. There we go. That was better. It shot smoother. Maybe not quite where I want it down there, but it was good progress. A little better. I was working on my holding my. I wasn't holding my finger, especially on the top one. Maybe as tight. I wasn't keeping the tension on it as well as before. So it seems to have allowed me to shoot the shots a little bit quicker, which is good. Still not as controlled and as smooth as I was getting yesterday afternoon, but we'll keep going. I know it's in there. I am capable. All right, that was definitely better. Also, this is in a way, this is a weird feeling for me. For so long, I've shot with my hand, and it's definitely not the best way to shoot. You can shoot like that, that's fine. But my coach has been really working on me using, my back properly and moving my whole arm, together when I shoot the shot. And it's been a weird sensation because you really have to not focus on your hand. It's just holding there, and you're focusing on your back and moving everything together as one unit, and then the shot just shoots, and for some reason your hand just really smoothly releases the arrow. It's like the string actually just cuts through your fingers and the shot shoots. It's pretty wild, especially for me, and having all these years of having this much more physical release that worked, but it wasn't getting me as high scores or as smooth and consistent shots as I'm getting now, because I haven't quite shot new high scores, but my shots are getting so much more consistent and more reliable than before. So I would think that in the near future the scores should follow that, just a matter of time. But it's so interesting. There we go. That was another good shot. Extra piece. Oh, you're talking about this? This is mostly just for weight, some more forward weight, but it also has a dampener in this lower section here. It's actually the front end of my Estremo stabilizer. They come with like stock dampeners, and I took them off and put on Doinker A-bombs. So I have, you know, well, I guess technically 2 more of these sitting around somewhere in my house. But this one I made into a top weight. I saw the, it was mostly from like watching like the Korean shooters and other top shooters across the world. I saw that they were running these and I was like, let me give it a try. And then now that I have a coach that I'm working with, he's a big fan of them. Of course, he's originally from Korea, so that kind of that makes sense. But I don't know, I feel like it gives the bow a little more forward momentum. I feel like for me, the weight's in a nice spot. Like, it adds a little more weight to the riser. And I don't know, it just works. You definitely don't need to have it. You could shoot without it. I just like how the shot feels for me with it on there. Yeah, it was. I felt like I was moving a little bit at the end, and the shot clicked, and just everything did what it was supposed to do, and I was like, "All right, I'll take like a 9 or so out of that, or something like that." uh, hmm. Ugh. Nope, not that one. That was kind of poor setup. I should have been. I need to be a little better into my face. It seemed like for me, that's funny too. And I think I probably talked about this before. As the archer, little movements sometimes feel like a massive change but when somebody else is watching you, they either can barely tell a difference or it looks exactly the same, but to you as the archer, it feels like you just, you're on the other side of the planet or something like that. It's pretty wild how exact you can get like the feeling of certain things. Like, cause I can shift from just being a little bit different on my face, and I feel like I'm a million miles away from where I'm supposed to be. A little bit there. All right, I made that. That one worked, but the release could have been a little better, Anthony. All right, so let's see if anybody's any questions, and we're also going to check an update on World Cup scores and see what everybody's doing. We'll check the ladies out this time, and I guess we'll probably take another look at the men's recurve, both recurves. That's all we're looking at. So the camera's wired to the laptop. It's a lot to bring down there. No, I am working on getting. I have to buy an outdoor Ethernet cable. I'm getting a 70-meter one, and we're gonna have a little remote camera down there, and that's going to get plugged in, and then we're going to run the wire back to this laptop here. I know I've been saying this for a little while, but you know, this is a very secondary thing. I have a lot of other expenses to take care of. So I'm really sorry that it's been, you know, it's been a long process. First I thought I was going to be able to do it like wirelessly, and that's it's not a great idea. especially with my internet connection. I have a hard enough time keeping this live without it stopping all the time. So no, that is the next thing on the buying list. I had to pick up a couple other things, and well, sign up for tournaments are expensive. So no, it is not easy to bring the camera down with all the other gear I have here. I would like to. I can try to take a picture and see if that shows up. But yeah, sorry. Okay, first we'll take a look at the men's division because I already have that page up. All right, we have Taylor. I would say Met. I'm probably got his name wrong. I think he's from Turkey. And then Lee Woo-suk from Korea. That's our top three. Followed by Marcus in fourth. So interesting so far. Let's check out the ladies, see what they're doing. Oh man, all right, Korea's in the top. 4 of their archers are in the top 5, so that's all their shooters. So it's Chang in first, Kang in second, Deepika, hopefully, I might have said her name wrong, from India. She's in third, really awesome. And then we have Lee and Jung are both in, fourth and fifth. So Korea's still dominating though. We got a shooter from India, which is awesome. And yeah, that's the top 5 for the women's division. So really interesting. We'll see how that unfolds as this goes. Let's see. The top shooter for the women's at 395 points, it looks like. So they still got a few ends to go, and we'll see who ends up finishing this. Well, as long as I'm still practicing. If not, you guys might have to check it out yourself. But let me go down. I'm going to pull these arrows, and I'll be right back. not sure where we're at on chat-wise. But anyway, yeah, it's a work in progress. So my thought is, and like, so the outdoor Ethernet cable is more expensive, but what it's going to let me do is I should be able to shoot almost all the time when we move back indoors for the winter, because I'm shooting from the shooting shack in the winter. So the camera, you know, this camera that you see here is going to be safe, and I'm not going to be overly concerned about the one out there, because that's going to be a smaller picture anyway. It's going to be, you know, in one of the corners, like over here or over. I have to figure it out. I'll have a layout for it or something. But that one I could always get like a little indoor. I can do it like an outdoor camera if I had to. You know, but yeah, we'll see when we get there though. But I definitely want the more weatherproof cable for that, and it's long. Other than that though, I took a picture. We're a little bit to the right. Let's see if we can reset the focus. So I guess like unfocus it. Maybe, perhaps. Okay, yeah. So hopefully you guys can see that. Did you reset it? All right, we should be back in focus back here now. You know, not too bad. I'm a little bit to the right, and that's definitely me. I seem to to pretty much go one of three ways. Either it's a really good shot, you know, well balanced overall. You know, my bow arm holds, and I have a good release, and I'm right in the middle. 9s and 10s, but in the middle. But if my my bow arm's not as solid and it moves some, then I'll go one way. Or if my release isn't that, you know, that great, like I didn't use as much back, I used more hand, then my shot will go another direction. Sometimes it goes low because it's just not clean. Excuse me, the shot is just not a clean shot at all. But for the most part, I'm in the middle or left or right, and that's something that I am working on fixing. And it pretty much just has to do with me using my back properly. But yeah, I have some rough ends where we'll be like, oh no, Anthony, why did you shoot the blue? But then I'll have some really great ones where out of 9 arrows, 7 of them are in the, you know, 9 and 10 ring, and we'll have like 1 or 2 8s. Or there's been occasions where that I've shot the live stream. I've actually shot like 7 10s or so, and the other 2 are 9s. So I've had some really sweet ends. But yeah, it would be fun to capture them on video. It would be entertaining to watch, you know, in the future too. Okay, so let's get back to shooting, and then when we get done this end, we'll check to see what's going on at the World Cup. Sure. Oh, see you later. Thank you for watching. It's great meeting so many of you on here. I know, you know, a lot of you do comment on the other videos I put up, but it's great to have a sort of, or as live as possible, conversation without being able to like meet each of you in person at your, you know, wherever you guys shoot at. Maybe one day though, especially if I manage to get to more international events, because right now I am pretty confined just to the whole US tournament scene. So hopefully I can expand like Europe and stuff would be really awesome in the future, but I got to work on it. I need to shoot better and things like that. Yeah. Looking at the replay, see what's going on. Yeah. My whole arm back, it didn't move together. It's better. Better than the last one. All right. We're moving a little bit, like, we're doing some really unnecessary, like, movements. Which, like, they're like mediocre shots, those last couple. So we want to get back to that. Ooh, yeah, that was a great shot. I need more of those in my life. Okay. Gotta make sure I hold this hand a little bit better. I think it might be moving, my wrist might be moving inwards a little bit, causing me a little bit of problems with expanding. We'll test it out. All right, got feet. All right. Yeah, it felt like it. So yeah, I'm probably not set up a little bit better. So okay, so that's one thing I've done in the past is I would set up, and then I would just try to move this, just the front portion of my arm, because I don't know, that's kind of how it was explained to me, and it works, but it doesn't work. So what I've been working on, like this whole time, yesterday, the last several days, we're probably like on a week now almost. I need to set up, and then all together, Anthony, all together, yeah. Very important, at least for me. The shots shoot so much better, but yeah, sometimes I fall down on that job. All right, let's try it again.
Fingers are really good.
Yeah, I felt like I was leaning a little. Okay. Yeah. Mediocre. All right, let's check World Cup, see what's going on. It's always interesting to watch. It's funny. Some of the movement in the rankings is pretty dramatic. Like there'll be people that'll be, I don't know, say first, and a couple ends go by. Next thing you know, they're in like 13th. It's pretty neat to see how tight, you know, the field is, and how, you know, a point or two can, you know, definitely either put you on top or put you a little bit further down in the pack, maybe further than you want. All right, so back to the recurve women. Chang first, Topeka and Kang. So that's our top three. They're in the top shooters in the 452. So they're definitely moving along. Let's check out the men. All right, so for the men, we have Taylor in first, and then I'm gonna keep calling him, I guess it's Met. There's probably a more appropriate way. I'll just see if he makes it into the medal rounds, I'll have to listen and see how World Archery pronounces it. And then Lee. Oh, wait, it just changed again. Lee's in second now. Met moved down to third. Taylor is still in first. So very, very cool. Some nice variety in the men's division. The women's is kinda, in a way, more the same. I don't know, I'd like to see a nice variety of archers. Like, it's cool when one country dominates, but only to a point, because it's just like, okay, come on, guys. Come on, come on. All right, so we'll see how that turns out. I'm gonna go down and pull those arrows now. Okay, I made it back. What muscles should you be using to bring up your bow arm? Let me think about this. I would say it's both your shoulders, not shoulders, your shoulder and back working together. Because, like, for here, so like when I have the shot here, I can feel a lot in my shoulder, and if I collapse my bow arm, like usually if it goes up, it's usually my shoulder muscles that are the ones that are allowing it to it's usually my shoulder muscles that are allowing my shoulder to move out of position. But I definitely feel like you're using your back too, because you still have all of this supporting that shot when you draw back. So I would say it's both. I don't know. That's my best take on that question. I don't know if anybody else has a better answer, but you kind of need both though, because if your back isn't holding, then you could shift. Well, I guess maybe this way's better. You could shift, backwards, and I guess you could kind of have a strong shoulder. It would be tough. You really need both to work together. They support each other in a way. How strong can your shoulder be if your back is moving out of position, or it's not staying in the same place and it's shifting during your shot? Because your shoulders, it's just it's the extension of your back, because everything, the further out you go, it all relies on what's closer to your core to help support that. You can't just have, say, like a strong elbow and then expect, you can have a strong elbow, but if everything else is collapsing behind it, I don't think it's going to help you out. I don't know if that's a helpful explanation, but that's definitely my understanding at this point in time. They definitely they complement each other, and you can make the shot work with one not quite doing its job, but you may struggle more. And even for me, with some of the times I had to set down my bow, maybe some of that's either from my hand and how I set up here, the back half, but sometimes it is the front half where my front shoulder, I'll get a little lazy and it just won't hold in the proper spot, and it'll decide to push in and up a little bit, shortening up my draw length. I just think overall it's something you constantly have to work on, and then as you work on it more and more, you just get better and better with it. I keep my left shoulder down when I'm drawing back my bow. I don't let it go up with it, because then it's stuck in that up position when I put when the way the bow's on it. See, it looks like it, for that shot, that one, it went really well. Yeah, it's up, but I feel like for me, most of the, I feel like it's still down though. Most of my strength is still down in this arm, even though it's up. And then when I draw back, it still feels like it's down. I don't, when I feel like there's pressure pushing upwards, especially on both my shoulders, but especially like my bow arm and stuff, I feel like my shot's really unbalanced, and then I usually don't make a good shot. So yeah, for the whole shot, I do feel like there's a downward pressure on my shoulder. And then when there isn't, I usually run into some kind of issue where my shoulder collapses more, or I take a long time to make the shot, things like that. A little low.
About a little long.
Yeah. You're welcome. Hopefully, that's the best I have. I wish I could. If there was a way to explain it better, I would definitely, have gone that way. But yeah, that's the best I can explain it at this point in time. If I come up with a better way, though, I'll probably make like a video on it. We'll see, but. Mm-hmm. Oh, I did order some 2-inch Jet 6 vanes. I'm gonna see if they make a difference. My coach says that I need to try them out because he thinks they're better, excuse me, because of my draw length and the poundage of my bow. So I'm gonna be giving those a try, and if there is a difference, or I'll probably just do a review in general on them just for people that are curious, because my original review was on the 1 3/4. So at least then I'll be able to compare the two and make a nice comparison video, at least between the two types of Jet 6 vanes. But like I was given a little bit back on that one. I did not hold it well on my face. Yeah. Darn. All right, let's think about this. Feet set. we go. Oh, Anthony.
Do it again.
There we go. Look, we're not moving unnecessary things and everything's shooting easier. Wow. Wow. Could you imagine? All right. Nice, that was a good 3 in a row. That felt really great. Okay, so let's take one last look at the World Cup. I know they're not gonna be done. And then I think we're gonna wrap up the live stream from there. So if you're gonna check out now, thank you so much for watching and happy shooting. But let's go and check the scores. I wanna see how everybody's doing. I'm gonna take a little break and I'll be back to shooting later. But let's see. So, updating the men's division, what we have, Taylor is still in first with a 506, so they got a few ends left. We got Met, and we have Lee in third. Patrick Houston moved back up to into fourth. I think he was below that before. And then we have M and O and M in 5th and 6th. Let's see. I don't see Brady on there. It looks like Crispin Duenas from Canada's in 17th, so that's cool. Let's check out the women's division. All right, we have Chang in first, Depika, really nice, in second, Kang in third, so we've got 2 Koreans in the top 3. Let's see, who else do I know? Katuna Loring sitting in 11th, pretty great, that's good. Who else? I don't know, just a really good showing from, of course, Korea, and Chinese Taipei's got 3 of their, I would assume they have 4 archers here, 3 of their 4 archers in the top 15? So nice showing by them. Yeah, so I'm gonna wrap up the live stream here. Let me see if you have any questions. Today's stream's about average. It takes longer at 70, you know, between the walking, and it depends on how many, you know, if you guys have good questions and stuff, and we're having a nice conversation, then it definitely takes longer to do the stream, which is fine. For me though, I just need to take a little break from shooting. I try to keep at a certain level. I don't want to get too sloppy in my shots, especially since I shoot from home, so I can afford to, you know, take a little break between shooting sessions. That way I try to keep like a little bit of a higher level of performance without getting too, you know, sloppy in my shooting. But yeah, you know, I really want to be able to, I want to shoot more ends with you guys live streaming, you know, 5, 6, 7, you know, until I start feeling like I'm getting a little sloppy in my shot. Then we can take a break. So hopefully in the future these actually go longer. But you know, we'll see how it all goes. Little plane passing by. Other than that, thank you so much for coming out. It's been great talking to everybody. And as always, happy shooting.